Your Mazda has a secret. Hidden inside your car's computer is a reset function that can fix dozens of frustrating problems instantly. Poor fuel economy that appeared out of nowhere. Rough idle that won't go away. Hesitation during acceleration that makes your car feel sluggish. Erratic transmission shifting that's been driving you crazy. A check engine light that came on for no obvious reason. These problems send thousands of Mazda owners to dealerships every year, spending $150 diagnostic fees just to be told we updated the software or we reset the computer. And they pay it because they didn't know they could do the exact same thing themselves in their driveway in 5 minutes for free. Today, I'm revealing the one-button reset that clears your Mazda's computer, wipes accumulated errors, and often fixes performance problems that have been frustrating you for months. This works on virtually every Mazda from 2010 onwards, and once you know how to do it, you'll never pay a diagnostic fee for a simple computer reset again. Let's get into it. What your Mazda's computer actually does. Before we get into the reset procedure, let me explain what you're actually resetting and why it matters. Your Mazda has multiple computers managing different systems. The main one we're dealing with is the PCM, Powertrain Control Module. The PCM manages your engine, transmission, fuel system, emissions controls, and dozens of other critical functions. Here's what most people don't understand about the PCM. It's constantly learning. When your Mazda is new, the PCM operates from factory baseline settings, but over time, it adapts. It learns your driving style. It compensates for engine wear. It adjusts fuel delivery based on oxygen sensor readings. It modifies ignition timing based on NOx sensor data. It adapts transmission shift points based on your acceleration patterns. This adaptive learning is mostly beneficial. It allows the PCM to optimize performance for your specific car and driving habits. But here's the problem. The PCM also learns bad habits. If an oxygen sensor starts reading slightly off, the PCM adapts its fuel delivery around that bad reading. Now, the PCM is compensating for a problem, rather than alerting you to it. If you install a new part that requires different parameters, the old adaptive values fight against the new component's optimal operating range. If the car has been sitting unused, temperature fluctuations cause sensor drift that the PCM tries to compensate for. Over time, the accumulated adaptive values can drift so far from optimal that the PCM is actually making your car run worse than it would with factory baseline settings. The reset wipes all of that. It forces the PCM back to factory baseline, and it lets the system start learning fresh from a clean slate with accurate current data. The results are often immediate and dramatic. The problems a PCM reset can fix. Let me be specific about what this reset actually addresses. Rough or unstable idle. The PCM controls idle speed through throttle position and fuel delivery. When adaptive values drift, the idle control loop can become unstable, hunting up and down, sitting too high, or dropping below normal, causing the car to shudder. A reset forces the idle control to factory baseline, then allows it to relearn correctly. Poor fuel economy. Fuel trims that have drifted rich or lean reduce efficiency. The PCM might be adding extra fuel based on a compensating strategy around a slightly degraded sensor. After a reset, fuel trims start fresh at zero and rebuild based on current, accurate sensor data. Many owners see an immediate 1 to 3 miles per gallon improvement after a PCM reset. Hesitation during acceleration. The PCM controls ignition timing advance. Incorrect adaptive timing values cause the engine to feel flat or hesitant, especially in the 1,500 to 3,000 RPM range, where you spend most of your driving time. Erratic or harsh transmission shifting. The PCM's transmission control module learns your driving patterns and adjusts shift points accordingly. But if it's learned aggressive patterns from heavy traffic driving, it might hold gears too long during normal driving, causing harsh or abrupt shifts. A reset clears the learned shift patterns and allows them to rebuild naturally. Minor sensor-related check engine lights. Some check engine lights are genuine fault codes indicating real component failures, but others are triggered by temporary sensor glitches that the system latched onto. A PCM reset clears these latched codes and allows the system to reevaluate without the ghost data that triggered them. Important: if a check engine light returns within 50 miles after the reset, there's a real fault that needs professional diagnosis. Post-maintenance performance issues. After an oil change, air filter replacement, throttle body cleaning, or any engine work, the PCM sometimes needs to relearn around the changed variables. A reset after major maintenance accelerates this relearning process. The one button. Reset, step by step. Here's the exact procedure. This is the battery-based reset method that works on every Mazda from 2010 onwards, regardless of model. No special tools, no scan equipment, no dealer access required. What you'll need: a wrench or socket, usually 10 millimeters, to loosen the battery terminal clamp. A clean, dry working environment, about 15 minutes total. Step 1. Make sure the engine is completely cold or fully warmed up. Do not perform this reset when the engine is partially warm. Either do it first thing in the morning before starting the car, or after the engine has been fully at operating temperature and you've let it cool for at least 30 minutes. Partial temperature states give the PCM an accurate baseline readings during the relearn phase. Step 2. Turn everything off. Radio off. Climate control off. All accessories off. Make sure all doors are closed. Step 3. Locate your battery. In most Mazdas, the battery is in the engine bay on the driver's side or passenger side near the firewall. In some models, certain Mazda 3 and MX-5 configurations, the battery may be under the trunk floor or in a different location. Check your owner's manual if you can't find it immediately. Step 4. Disconnect the negative terminal only. Using your wrench, loosen the clamp bolt on the negative, black battery terminal. The negative terminal is marked with a minus sign, minus. Slide the clamp off the battery post and move it away from the terminal so it cannot accidentally make contact. Do not disconnect the positive terminal, only the negative. Step 5. Press and hold the brake pedal for exactly 30 seconds. This is the critical step most people skip. With the negative terminal disconnected, pressing the brake pedal activates the brake light circuit, which drains the residual electrical charge stored in the PCM's capacitors. Without this step, the PCM retains enough charge to preserve its adaptive memory even with the battery disconnected. Hold the brake for a full 30 seconds, not 10 seconds, not 20. 30. Step 6. Wait 10 full minutes. After releasing the brake pedal, wait 10 minutes before reconnecting the battery. This waiting period allows complete discharge of any remaining capacitor charge in the system. I know 10 minutes feels like a long time, but 5 minutes isn't always enough for complete discharge. 10 minutes guarantees it. Set a timer on your phone. Walk away. Come back when it goes off. Step 7. Reconnect the negative terminal. Slide the clamp back onto the negative battery post. Tighten the clamp bolt firmly with your wrench. Make sure it's snug enough that you can't wiggle the clamp by hand. Step 8. Sit in the car and turn the ignition to on without starting the engine. This is called the key on engine off position. You'll hear various systems initializing, the fuel pump priming, the AC system checking, the throttle body doing a brief sweep. Leave the ignition in this position for 30 seconds without starting. This allows all the control modules to power up and initialize before the engine starts. Step 9. Start the engine and let it idle completely undisturbed for 10 minutes. Don't touch the gas pedal. Don't turn on the AC. Don't adjust anything, just let it idle. This 10-minute idle period is the PCM performing its initial relearn sequence. It's establishing baseline idle speed, fuel trim starting points, throttle position 0 reference, and oxygen sensor baseline readings. Interrupting this process by touching the accelerator or turning on accessories can cause the relearn to start over or establish incorrect baselines. Let it run. Leave it alone. Step 10. The relearn drive. After the 10-minute idle, the PCM is ready for the driving relearn phase. Drive the car for 20 minutes following this specific pattern. First 5 minutes, gentle city driving, smooth acceleration, speeds under 40 miles per hour, no hard stops. Next, 10 minutes, steady highway driving. Maintain 55 to 65 miles per hour as consistently as possible. Minimal lane changes, minimal braking. Final 5 minutes, return to city speeds. A few gentle stops, normal urban driving. This specific driving pattern teaches the PCM the full range of normal operating conditions in one session. City driving establishes idle and low-load parameters. Highway driving establishes cruise and high-load parameters. The transition between them teaches the PCM how to shift between modes smoothly. If you're enjoying this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. This helps me bring you more honest car advice for my Mazda guys. What to expect immediately after the reset. Here's what you might experience in the first few days after the PCM reset. The first 50 miles, slightly rough operation. Your PCM is starting from 0. It hasn't yet relearned optimal parameters for your specific engine. Idle might be slightly higher or lower than normal. Fuel economy might be temporarily worse. Transmission shifts might feel different. This is completely normal. Don't panic. Miles 50 to 200, progressive improvement. As the PCM accumulates driving data, performance improves noticeably. Idle smooths out. Fuel economy returns to normal or better. Shifts become fluid and appropriate. After 200 miles, fully relearned. By 200 miles of varied driving, the PCM has rebuilt its adaptive tables and is operating optimally. This is when you'll notice the full benefit of the reset. Most owners notice improved throttle response, smoother idle, and better fuel economy compared to before the reset. The scan tool alternative. If you own a basic OBD2 scan tool, and every Mazda owner should have one, there's an alternative reset method that's even cleaner. Most OBD2 scanners have a clear codes function that clears diagnostic trouble codes and resets the PCM's readiness monitors. However, this method only clears the fault codes and readiness monitors. It does not fully reset the adaptive fuel trim and transmission learning tables. For a complete reset of all adaptive learning, the battery disconnect method is more thorough. But for simply clearing a check engine light or resetting readiness monitors before an emissions test, the scan tool method is faster and simpler. My recommendation: use the scan tool to clear codes first. If the problem returns, perform the full battery disconnect reset. When the reset won't work. I want to be honest about the limitations of this procedure. A PCM reset fixes software and adaptive learning problems. It does not fix mechanical failures or genuine component faults. Here's when the reset won't help, and you need professional diagnosis. If the check engine light returns within 50 miles, a code that comes back quickly after a reset is a real fault. The component needs replacement or professional diagnosis. If you have noticeable mechanical symptoms, knocking, ticking, misfiring on a specific cylinder, oil burning, coolant loss, these are mechanical issues the PCM can't fix regardless of its adaptive values. If the problem started suddenly after a specific event, an accident, a water crossing, a sudden loud noise from the engine, these point to physical damage, not software drift. If you've already done multiple resets without improvement, one reset that doesn't help suggests the problem is real, not adaptive. Stop resetting and start diagnosing. Before we continue, if you want the complete guide to Mazda diagnostic procedures, reset sequences, and the full maintenance schedule that prevents these problems from developing in the first place, click the link in the description to download your 500,000-mile car maintenance blueprint. It covers every reset procedure, every maintenance interval, and everything you need to keep your Mazda running perfectly for decades. Let's keep going. How often should you do this reset? This is a question I get constantly. My answer: when you need it, not on a schedule. The PCM reset is a corrective procedure, not a preventive maintenance item. You should do it when? After any significant engine work, new sensors, throttle body cleaning, new fuel injectors, major tune-up, when performance has gradually degraded over months without an obvious cause, after replacing the battery, when a check engine light appears without any obvious symptoms, when fuel economy has dropped noticeably without a change in driving habits, when idle quality has deteriorated over time. Don't do it every month just because you can. The PCM's adaptive learning has real value. Those learned values, when they're based on accurate data, make your car run better than factory baseline. The goal of the reset is to get rid of corrupted adaptive data. Not all adaptive data. Do it when you need it, not routinely. Additional systems that reset with the PCM. Here's something most people don't know. When you perform the battery disconnect reset, several other systems reset alongside the PCM. The transmission control module resets its shift adaptation, which is why you might notice different shifting behavior for the first 50 to 100 miles. The idle air control resets to factory baseline, requiring the idle relearn procedure we discussed in a previous video. The TPMS system may reset, requiring you to drive above 25 miles per hour for 10 minutes to re-establish pressure readings. The power window auto up/down function resets and requires relearning. Hold the window switch in the up position for 3 seconds after the window is fully closed for each window. The radio presets and clock will be cleared. Have your radio code available. If your Mazda requires one, check your owner's manual. The AC climate control calibration may also reset, which might actually improve AC performance if it was previously miscalibrated. Being aware of these secondary resets means you're not surprised when things behave slightly differently after the procedure. Most of them sort themselves out within a few days of normal driving. The window and TPMS resets require the brief manual procedures we've covered in previous videos. And if you want the complete guide to every Mazda reset procedure, every system relearn, and the full maintenance schedule that prevents PCM issues from developing in the first place, don't forget to grab your 500,000-mile car maintenance blueprint from the link in the description. It covers everything you need to keep every system in your Mazda running at its absolute best. The bottom line. Your Mazda's PCM is one of the most powerful tools in your car, but like any computer, it accumulates errors over time. Adaptive values drift, bad sensor data gets incorporated, performance gradually degrades. The battery disconnect reset clears all of that instantly. Disconnect the negative terminal. Hold the brake for 30 seconds, wait 10 minutes, reconnect, key on for 30 seconds, idle for 10 minutes, complete the relearn drive. That's it. Rough idle, reset. Poor fuel economy, reset. Erratic shifting, reset. Minor check engine light, reset first, diagnose if it returns. This procedure fixes more problems than most people realize, and it costs absolutely nothing. Before you spend $150 on a diagnostic fee for a computer issue, do this reset yourself. Save the money, fix the problem, and know that you can handle it next time too. Your Mazda is a sophisticated machine with sophisticated software, and now you know exactly how to reboot it when it needs it. If you found these tips helpful, be sure to watch this next video as we're sharing insider tips to help you cut repair costs and keep your car running like new.